the beginning of December last year, I headed out of Scotland and started my journey south for the winter. I had a few van projects I wanted to do whilst at my parents' place, and as usual, the weather and my over-ambitiousness meant they didn't all get done. But I did get a couple of key things sorted, and most importantly, had a few opportunities to splash about in the water.
Look at that.
This is what happens when I decide to sit in the sea to get some cool footage.
Wow! Oh my god!
My dad and I are doing some van work today. I've made it down to Devon, and as usual, there's things that never got finished with my van or need improving. So my bed has had issues with damp build-up, which I shared in a previous video. And last October, when I first had the problems, I drilled holes in it, which had always been my plan. I hadn't got around to it, but I'm still having problems with it. I have this mesh thing that sits on top of it, but there's just not enough airflow. And I've discovered airflow is the key to stopping damp build up in small spaces. So we're putting some bigger holes in it. My dad's got a bigger drill bit than I used last year, so that's what we're doing. It had 9 holes in the bed, randomly aligned. Oh, just picking up a glove. And this is one of the old ones, and then this is the size of the new one. So we've just got some panels underneath so that we can cut without cutting through my dad's workbench. Old one, new one, new one, old one. And hopefully that will do the job. And I'll still keep running a fan underneath the holes, but hopefully it will just keep it better ventilated. So that's my bed ply. Oh, damn. One to go and everything's broken. We had some fun when my dad's drill broke just before finishing the last hole, and we came up with an interesting solution. Ta-da!
No!
I decided to head over to France for the winter as I just didn't think I could manage another cold, damp Scottish winter. It's the damp and the grey that get to me, and the really short days. I don't exactly have the money to go on holiday as such. I justified the cost of the ferry by telling myself I'd use less fuel running my heater, and other than that, fuel and food costs will be pretty similar to if I'd gone home to Scotland. And I really needed to get away for a while. I also have a load of family in France who I haven't seen in years, so I'm hoping to reconnect with them. It is my first day in France and I haven't done much yet. I've had a bit of a lie-in and I've been to a supermarket to pick up supplies. The place I stayed at an air last night and there was water and stuff. It wasn't very clear what was what, but figured what is probably fresh water. I filled up my water tanks and bought some of the essentials. If you haven't been out of the UK, in the rest of the world, this is what they have instead of Walkers, and they have better flavours and they're just better crisps. Sorry, Walkers. So obviously had to buy some crisps straight away and just about to have lunch. Some yummy bread. Also bought my favourite cereal and found recycling to get. I was already accruing a load of card, accumulating a load of card and some cans and stuff. So got rid of all of that. Which is always good. I feel good once all the recycling and rubbish is gone, at least for a day or two when it all starts to pile up again. And I am parked by Le Jardin Suspendus. I'm not sure about my pronunciation. Hanging Gardens, basically, and I am going to see them. I'm still in Le Havre. I'm going to go see the gardens after eating some food. And it is cold outside, and it was supposed to be sunny this afternoon, but I think I've missed all the sun that was out this morning, lying in bed and then trying to sort out the van. I've not really been in the van for the last month. I slept in it over Christmas when there's not enough rooms in the house at my parents' house. And I spent the last 3 nights in England in the van. But I was like staying with people, visiting family and friends. So I was mostly like had everything I needed inside and just went out to the van to sleep. Or yeah. So it's a little bit like just trying to get back used to like life in the van and remembering to like last night I was quite tired and then I was like, oh yeah, I have to heat up water to be able to wash myself. I can't just go use someone's shower. It's like I've forgotten. And I'm already thinking, how am I going to wash my hair? What am I going to do to wash my hair next time? So it's just going to be a bit interesting the next week or so getting back into that routine. It'll be good. I want to be in there with those plants. They look so happy and so big and tropical. So there's Le Havre. And there's Stream. I'm kind of just happy enough to see the city from this distance. Le Havre was pretty much destroyed in World War II, so most of it has been rebuilt since. Pause here if you want to read more about the history. Oh, if you guys had heard the noise I made when I first reached out to touch this stuff, I think I squeaked. From South Africa. This is like super soft. I love it. If it can survive this cold, I wonder if it'd survive in the van. I need to get some of this stuff. It looks cool and it's fun to stroke. I don't know what it is, it doesn't have a sign. Even though it's winter and the greenhouses weren't open and lots of plants were hiding in winter mode, I still really enjoyed this little nature escape in the city. So this is a first for me. My windscreen is frozen, but it's raining outside. It's also a little bit steamed up because I'm just trying to heat up some water. And also, I have icicles, which just seems kind of mad. My heater was not working last night, so maybe it wouldn't be so frozen inside if my heater had been working. I'm off to get fuel in hopes of getting it working again. I took the weather the next day as a sign to just hide and have a chill out day. I'd had a busy few days, so it felt quite justified. That was after I'd filled up with fuel so my heater could keep me nice and toasty. My heater started having issues once I get below 3/4 of a tank of fuel, so it's not like I'd let it run out or anything. I'd just forgotten how quickly I need to refuel if I want to use it. The weather made me realise I still needed to get further south, but before that I made a short trip up the coast to see the cool cliffs at Etretat. I had a wander along the coast, looking at the cool rock formations, and ate a yummy fromage de chèvre quiche for lunch that I picked up in a bakery that morning. I found some funky plants by the coast. I don't think I've seen these before. If we have these in the UK, I have somehow not ever noticed them. They look kind of lettucey. With crazy stalks. Look at this one. There's quite a lot of them. I don't really understand how this happens right in the middle of the rock, but I thought it looked like Africa. As usual, I got pretty mesmerised watching the sea. There were a few people around, but it was pretty quiet. I get the idea this place is overrun by tourists during the warmer months. The town itself had some cool old buildings, and then this place. Coming back past Le Havre, with a quick stop for more water, I headed towards Honfleur. I mostly avoid toll roads, partly due to the cost, but mostly because it involves climbing across the front of my van to pay. That bit is not too much of an issue, but trying to get back through the little gap between the seat and the steering wheel, as my seat is obviously in the short person position, is kind of challenging. And I feel like the gate might close if I'm not quick enough, so I probably make things worse by trying to rush and getting a wee bit stuck. Honfleur started as a small port and grew along the Seine from the 17th to 19th centuries. Since the 1830s, artists have come to Honfleur, attracted by the views of the seafront and the harbour. Monet was one of these artists, so it became a rather well-known spot, and I can see why. It was sunny and there was a washing machine outside a Carrefour about 5 minutes away from where I'd parked the van, so I went back and forth around the town, taking photos of cool views, exploring, and then going back to pop my washing in the dryer. That's van life for you. Subscribe and stay tuned to see where I'm off to next.